A very good evening to all our viewers and welcome to today's edition of the Evening Review. We are doing things slightly different today, coming to you all the way from the north where the Ongwediva annual trade fair is taking place, and we are being welcomed in the region by the regional commander of Oshana, that is Commissioner Naftal Lungamini Sakaria, who has just been actually joined the region in that capacity. Thank you very much, Commissioner, for making time for us. How is everything going in terms of preparations, making sure that everything is in order?
No, thank you very much, first of all, for availing us this opportunity.
Yes.
And also to greetings to your viewers,
yes,
and to everybody watching, and to the people of Oshana,
yes,
more specifically, but to everyone
yeah,
in the country as well.
Yeah.
So the question was on preparation,
yes,
on the activities that are taking place in the region.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, as you are aware, this coming week, starting from today,
yeah,
we expect a high of activities in the region,
yeah,
taking into consideration the trade fair, which is the main event, so to say, but also the Namibian Cup,
yeah,
that
yeah,
is taking place over the weekend, and some political activities taking place in the region as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So, as you can see, my attire,
yeah,
we have already started this morning.
yeah.
We are on. So the deployment is ready. We will have a briefing later on during the day to cover the weekend and the week. This is Lungameni Phase 3. So
Wonderful.
it is running and the members are ready.
Yeah, wonderful.
Yes.
Tell me, Commissioner, just again, congratulations on your recent appointment as regional commander here. If you can give us a bit of background in your police work. I mean, we were caught by surprise, not by surprise, but off guard by your appointment. Not that we didn't expect it, but somehow it caught a lot of people off guard. But there's a lot of excitement. People seemingly happy with a new face in the region. If you can walk us into your police journey.
Yeah. Well, I have been around for a while. 26 years now. I joined the police in 1996.
Okay.
So yes, during my policing career, it's a long one, and stretching from starting, of course, from the charge office in the 90s then, and then moving up to going into real activities. I was a trainer, and then eventually I was deployed with the Special Reserve Force Division. I stayed with the Reserve Force for a while, until I became the head of Special Reserve Force Division, eventually, from where I came from to be appointed as the head of Oshana region, as a regional commander. What's important is to say I have quite a number of policing experience, locally and also internationally. I've served in UN peacekeeping missions. It's very important, this kind of missions, because it exposes you to that international experience at that level. Already in 2007, I served in East Timor. It's a tiny island neighboring Indonesia. And then I've served in South Sudan twice. Where in 2017, I went to East Timor, to South Sudan, and I was, after a year and a half, I was recalled to go back. They call it a quick return. We performed some work and said, no, the work is not done yet. Can you please help us? Inspector General said, people are looking for you. So you must go back to this place. So I went back. So I did twice there as a chief of operation in both missions. And then I also served with SADC missions to Kingdom of Lesotho. I think it's 2014, some problems there. As a chief of operation, I went there to coordinate individual police officer activities for peacekeeping mission there as well. But I have got other many opportunities and experiences. I'm a scuba diver. I'm a skipper of a Category H boat. I am a hostage and negotiator. In fact, I train hostage negotiators in Tanzania, in South Africa, and in Swaziland, and in Namibia.
Okay.
So it's
extensive.
Yeah, but operational, if you like. That is the main area.
Absolutely. It's a very impressive resume, Commissioner. And you are stepping in the shoes of some of the finest police officers who served in this capacity now here in Oshana. Commissioner Haule Njaba in the olden days. I think Tateka Kuma was a decorated police officer. What do you then intend to do? Do you want to, obviously, I mean, as a new phase here, you want to build on what is the foundation that they are leaving behind. What is it, what legacy would you like to leave in Oshana one day when you are no longer commissioner here? Well,
I always say, people say, there were people here, that Njaba and the Commissioner Gashakuma.
Yeah.
I said, it's not a fair comparison.
Yeah.
These are combatants who had struggle credentials. And so I'm saying we have a strategy in place on which we based our approach.
Yeah.
And we want at the end of the day, given a chance, people then can judge for themselves and say, well, you can now be compared to some of the finest.
Yes.
So we are 3 weeks on the job. We hit the ground running, of course, but the comparison should sort itself out.
Yeah, yeah.
For now, the strategy is quite clear, what we want to do.
Yeah, yeah. Tell us about the Lungameni, Operation Lungameni that you've just rolled out in the early days of your days of your tenure. What is it and what does it intend to achieve?
Okay, fine. I've spoke of the strategy, what we are trying to achieve. So just a little bit background on that, because we are saying the police has got a very good, fine document, strategic plan for the Namibian police, which is in place. So mission, the vision is there. So excellent policing for a safer Namibia. That is the vision. That's where we want to be. So cascaded down, the strategy has got 3 pillars. The effective policing, which has got 2 strategic objectives. And the first strategic objective is enhance crime combating efforts.
Yeah.
The second one is improved traffic law enforcement. So if you look at the first strategic objective, it says enhanced crime combating efforts. So that is where Operation Lungameni is coming in. So I have a group, a team of very experienced officers that put together these operational orders and operational preparations. And they come to me and they say, we are going to name it Lungameni.
Yeah, yeah.
I said, is that not my name?
Yeah.
They said, yes,
Yeah.
but it has a meaning. So because the approach is twofold.
Yeah.
Which also touch on the second pillar of the strategy, which is building partnership and improved stakeholder cooperation. This is a strategic objective. So we are saying people in the region need to be wise.
Yeah.
So that is a literal translation of the name.
Of Lungameni, yes.
Yeah. So that is the approach to say crime combating efforts, which is why we launched it in my first week in the office. We launched it. And we are now at phase 3. So that is the first approach. And the second is on the building partnership. Yeah. We are very, very strong on the building partnership because we recognize the fact that policing work cannot be left alone to the police. You need the public to come on board so that we attack together.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
So that is where the Operation Lungameni coming in. It's part of strategy and as part of the plans that we have.
Yeah. Now, with this strategy in place, Commissioner Sakaria, the challenge has always been in our country, has always been that, we have nice strategies, we have nice policies, but you need resources to roll out these ideas. And we know that the police currently is not in the best of states when it comes to resources. What can you tell us about the availability of resources and the general challenges that you have encountered so far?
Well, that can be true, but you would realize that people try to avoid, to hide behind, yeah, we don't have a budget, we don't, but the resources are there. Yeah. Why don't we utilize what we have, and then people will realize that we are doing with little we have, so they are encouraged to come on board and assist. So that's why we kick off what we have. I have vehicles that, for example, mobility is one of your challenges. Yes. Because when they break down, they need to be repaired. The police is a big organization. And the budget is divided between all the regions. You have maybe money to repair 2 cars, and then 3 are down, and then that always was a challenge. But you have vehicles, you always have resources that are doing administration, that are doing 8 to 5. Why don't you, once you identify what time is the crime committed, and then you say, no, between 10 and 6 in the morning, then those cars are not working. Because people are 8 to 5 is not on duty. So you mobilize what you have, and then you start working. And that is the approach, but it is a challenge. As I stand now here, we have got, no, as I'm sitting here, we have got about 35 cars that are grounded with a total repair cost of plus minus 1.7 million. This is now from the engine problems to minor repair, like service filters and stuff. So those are challenges. And that is why we are saying our approach is very strong on building partnership, because you need different communities. You need your business community, for example, to come on board. But they must see that we are willing to do the work. And if they buy into the plan, then they can come on board and say, look, I can service 5, 10 cars. Then we sustain our mobility. Oshana is blessed with some of the finest business people. So we are willing to work and protect the businesses in the region, because it's very, very important to have got conducive environment, also for investment. People say, Oshana is safe. We are willing to put up our business there. That is what we want to achieve.
Yeah, absolutely. We go for a quick break and return for second half. Thank you. We continue our conversation with Commissioner Sakaria of the Oshana region. Now, Commissioner, in Oshana, the crimes, the recurring sort of crime here is usually economic. It's people breaking into houses, people snatching people's bags, breaking into people's cars. It's not very much the other sort of crimes that, I mean, every kind of crime, I suppose, happens here, but the most common one is really of economic nature. Do you think that, you know, the economic situation in the country, things like unemployment and stuff like that, have a lot to do with this? And what must be done?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think there is enough literature on crime and that can be linked to economy and this kind of sort of things. But you have to understand that there are countries that are doing much better in comparison to Namibia, but where the crime is much lower. So it's more of that people just want to commit crime, and they think this is a shortcut to the economic hardship does not only hit criminals or those that everyone is touched here and there in one, but people find different ways of surviving. And this is why we have this warning to say they should repent their ways, find the new ways of surviving. If they are saying they're committing crime because of economic reason, so there must be a way to hustle, as the young people say. But committing crime, breaking into houses and robbing people, that will not be tolerated in this place. And our cells are full, but we will put them there.
But do you agree, Commissioner, at least that, of course, it's not a justification, but do you agree at least that if the economic conditions were good or better than they are today, if there were more jobs for young people, that maybe the situation would be slightly better?
Well, it's a give and take question, because, like I said, there are people who just want to commit crime. And as you know, there are people who are probably well off, but they are committing crime. So it's a challenge, really. Yes, we take recognition that the numbers are there in terms of employment, unemployment in the country, but that should not be a justification. So people should find really different ways of doing this.
Tell me about what we reported in Namibian Sun, I think a week or two ago. I think a week ago, there was an incident at one of your police cells in the region where criminals and police clashed to the extent that one of your officers got actually injured. What was happening there? We called it a baptism of fire for you in our newspaper.
Yes. Well, you have a situation where you have got overcrowded cells. That is. There are reports. We are aware of the situation. Now, what we do is we try to conduct regular, sporadic, literally the searches into those facilities. And Oshakati, there was this tendency from the inmates that it's a no-go area, that we are here, the police cannot search us. And we are aware because we have got surveillance in those facilities. And we are aware of contrabands that are in. And we launched a search because I said immediately, let's go and search and remove or retract those contrabands, cell phones, drugs, even knives in there. Some of them are homemade, sharp objectives, the objects that they can use to really hurt each other or the police officers. So we went in to attempt to search, and the response was immediate, that resistance, that we are not searching the place. So immediately resulted in the clash because they start attacking the Special Reserve Force. In fact, we have to bring more enforcement to bring the situation to normality in the process. And you know the cells are confined. In terms of minimum use of force, you are limited. Normally in the open area, you have got say tear gas. It's a lacrimotory agent that will just activate your tears. It does not really, but it's good enough to ward off the attack, or disperse, but confined space, you have to rely on different methods. And the plastic shot is one of it. Very, very painful, but it does not kill you, but it does a good job. So that is all that was used by the reserve force, and we were able to restrain them into their cells for the day. So I have to go to the cells the following day, and then to address the inmates. Make it very clear that contrabands are not allowed. We will search the cells at will. It is under our control. That is, should be clear. So that is literally what happened. Some of them got hurt in the process, of course. Immediately they were taken to hospital. Eventually we searched the cells, and we found, I think, 18 cell phones, and knives and balies of dachas. And we were able to charge those that were found in possession of these items.
Yes. Indeed. Now, Commissioner, one of the things that we are likely to see in the coming months of this year, and then I think in parts of, I suppose, also in the build-up to 2024 is political activities, whether it's congresses of political parties, whether it's campaigns, political campaigns and rallies. How are you gearing up for this kind of, because sometimes they get very confrontational, even civilians sometimes clashing. I remember in some regions in the past, there are those who declared, civilians who declared their regions as no-go areas for example, the opposition, and what not. How are you gearing up for that, and how sensitized are your officers in terms of making sure that there is enough education, basically just to prepare them and make sure that you are a non-partisan force and stuff like that?
Of course, this requires other stakeholders to come on board. Yeah. In terms of education of our communities, to say people have got their rights to assemble peacefully without arms, the right to belong to political parties and so forth and so on. But what we are doing in the region, and we have started, while the 3 weeks I was here, there were a couple of events, political events. What we're doing is we engage the leadership of that specific political organization, and we put up agreement on what we expect from each other. So this helps, because then we are open to everybody. They're calling us, we are calling them, please come, we sit. You want to march this route, why don't we use this one because of A, B, C, D? This time, why can't we end up to this time, and so forth and so on. So once we have this understanding of engagement, and then we can count each other, hold each other accountable, make a call and say, chairman or president of this political party or whatever, this is not what we have agreed. Can you call people to order? Because in the past there were issues where people block roads, for example. We cannot have roads blocked. And honestly, I don't wake up in the morning and I'm agitated that I want to use force, I want to disperse people, I want to call in reserve force. No. We want to do other things. So, but we will be forced to do that if people are not abiding to agreements that we are putting in place. So, but we are ready to escort, to provide security during events and so on, as long as it's taking place in this region.
Yeah, wonderful. In terms of, just briefly, Commissioner, in terms of your force, in terms of human resources, how are the numbers? Do you need to recruit more? Are you able to do with what you have? How is the situation on the ground?
Well, that question takes us to perhaps the third pillar of the strategy that speaks on the organizational excellence with one strategic objective which speaks on organizational performance. What it means is that how do you find a right mixture of infrastructure, technology, and personnel? People are talking about the fourth industrial revolution. How do you make use of ICT to your advantage? So the issue of manpower, it's critical, it's a concern. To recruit, you need budget. And this is an issue for the national level to address, of course. But with the numbers we have, the numbers are not so bad in this region. It's a question of how do you utilize them, during which time they are needed. Like I've said, do you need them 8 to 5 or do you need them 10 to 6? So why don't you use that what you have? But we can do much more if we have got more numbers and also younger people. I was talking about ICT. Is it time you move to concepts like, let's say, smart cities where you have got surveillance on CCTV at your hotspots? We are calling stakeholders, our partners, to come on board and say, we'll put a camera there for you. Monitor it, and then it will help to reduce reliance on numbers on the ground and have a targeted intervention instead of just burning fuel going around in circles.
hoping to stumble upon something.
Yes, upon something.
Yeah.
So this is ideas that we're going to be selling to say, why can't we move in that direction?
Yeah.
But the numbers are not bad, but we can do more.
Yeah.
And as you can imagine, we have got some of the people that came in as from the previous, you call them combatants, and from both sides, and they are aging.
Yeah, yeah.
And these are the guys that really want to work. They work, but they are aging. That's a fact. Yeah. They are living numbers. They need to be replaced.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
On a final and very light note, Commissioner, I'm putting you on the spot. Your appointment has induced a lot of interest to the extent that even your current boss, General Ndetunga, said that you must not be distracted. Apparently, people are asking many questions. Is this man married? Is he available? Is all these sort of things? How did you take in all that overwhelming attention?
Well, we take recognition of the hype and the enthusiasm that come along with the appointment. Yeah. But we are taking it as a very positive, welcoming by especially young people that are on social media. Yeah. And we want to say, let's turn this positive energy into that pillar number 2. Yeah. We build partnership, we start reporting crime. Yeah. We are now saying, okay, we have got this new guy, let's support him, he's saying, he's willing. Yeah. So the focus should be on the job at hand. Yeah. And we are aware of the job at hand. Yeah. And like you said, the Inspector General, also at the same time, we want to wish him well. Yeah. He's retiring. Yes. Retiring. Yeah. The man is a legend. I know. There is no other way of putting it. Yeah. Yeah. Take an example of the time that he served, 16, 17 years. Yes. Make a comparison with for example, some of our neighboring countries. Yeah. In that time frame, how many, just look it up, how many generals have came and left? Yeah. Some within a few months, they are already out. It's not an easy office. It's not an easy office. So we really owe it to him and to General Shikongo, who was appointed. This is an inspiring story. Yes. Nothing else. It's a definition of really hard work pays. Yes. And we are inspired by this kind of leadership and approach. Yeah. And yes, we are ready to support the new general as well. Wonderful. Yes. General Commissioner Sakaria, thank you for making time. You will get me fired. No, Commissioner. Yes. Thank you for your time, and we wish you all the best in your new responsibilities. Call on us anytime as the media, I'm sure, not only speaking for Namibian Sun, but also for, I suppose, the entire industry. We will be there for you if you need anything on our part, but thanks for making time. Thank you very much. No, wonderful. That was tonight's show coming to you from Ongwediva, where the trade fair is kicking off tomorrow officially. We are going to do a lot of more of these interviews, and just be on the lookout. Thank you for watching.